inside a $60 million YouTube campaign.
Wow, many familiar faces.
That's what I'm going to talk about today, and that's what I talked about at Affiliate World Conference in Europe in Barcelona.
Wow, it's a pleasure to be here on stage.
Affiliate World Conference is my favorite conference because it was my very first conference I attended back in 2016. I was 18 years old. I just started making money with affiliate marketing, and now speaking at this conference, it's a total honor. It was in fact a fantastic trip. I was there with my girlfriend Polina. We met all of my friends. We even had a private event with the Gypsy Kings. And then we even flew to Ibiza to relax, to do some light work and enjoy the nature. Let's get right into it. So, who should be running YouTube ads? And the question is, who shouldn't be running YouTube ads? Because YouTube is an insane platform, and that's why we're here watching this video, because there's so much content and because there's so many eyeballs, there's an incredible scale. So if you're an agency owner, an affiliate, a media buyer, you should be running YouTube ads. For the ones who don't know, my name is Micol, I'm 25 years old and I'm from Italy, and last year alone we generated over $30 million via YouTube ads for our clients. I'm CEO and founder of Scalers, which is a group of marketing companies. We're spread across Dubai, London and Latvia and Malta. When I say I generated $60 million in revenue, what I truly mean is we, because I work with my partner Ralphs, and we've been doing this together. From 2016 until today, we generated together over $100 million in sales, and 60 of them just via YouTube ads. So you should pay close attention to what I'm gonna say in just a minute. Our record in a day is $450,000 in revenue in a single day. And since revenue doesn't mean much, I'm also gonna share that in one day, once we did more than $120,000 profit. So when you see gurus speaking about revenue, they generate revenue, doesn't really mean they're making profits. But in our case, we do high profits, even 6 digits in a single day. And this is one of the screenshots of one of our ad accounts where we spent over $21 million in the last years. And if you wanna see a bit more about how a dashboard looks like, make sure to watch the video after this one. What everyone always asks me is, what products or services do you promote in order to generate these amounts of revenues? And that's a good question. And we don't work with anyone, so the majority of companies that want to work with us, we kindly decline them, we reject them because they don't fit our criteria, our checklist. And this is a checklist. The first thing we take a look at is the brand quality. How well the company is established, if they're doing revenues already, so if they're not just a startup that they're just testing marketing with us. We want well-established companies to start working with. We check if they have any celebrity endorsements, because celebrities actually help us get lower cost per purchase, lower CPAs, and of course if they're selling qualitative products, because we don't work with companies that sell junk. Number 2 is if they have existing video material. If the brands already produce their material and they understand YouTube and they have amazing content, then that's a big plus for us, because we don't have to start creating content from scratch, but they give us assets that we can work on and start making quick tests. And number 3, which is probably underrated, for agency owners it kind of matters, but not, because agency owners usually put the retainer, so they charge a percentage on the ad spend, but at Scalers we don't do that. For us it's very important to have a high commission. If you're an agency owner, you should have a high retainer. For an affiliate or as a brand owner, your marketing margins should be as high as possible. So as an affiliate, we get paid a commission, and of that commission, we need to pay our marketing costs. To give you an example, we get paid $100 for a sale. If we spend $80 to generate one sale, our profit will be 100 minus 80 equals 20. So $20 is our profit margin. The higher the commission is, the higher the possible scale is. And to put this in a visual representation, this is a graphic showing you how the higher the payout is, the higher the scale can be. And this is a simple math, because if you can afford more in marketing, you can overbid all your competitors and you can acquire more customers. So from an affiliate perspective, the higher the payout, the higher the scale. So if you're an affiliate or you're an agency, always have the conversation with the company owners to have a higher commission so that you can make them more money. Obviously, they need to be able to afford it. So from a brand perspective, the more they can afford the marketing, the more sales they can generate. So if you're a brand owner, you should focus on the back end and increase the amount of marketing margins so that you can pay your marketing team, your agency, your affiliates more and more and more. And this is the only way you're gonna be able to compete in this market and crush the competition. So coming back to YouTube ads, the number one thing you need to work on after you've gone through the checklist and you decided to work with one client, you need to focus on the ads. And I wanna reveal with you the secret weapon to make $1 million ads. But before revealing the secret weapon to make $1 million ads, we need to identify the number one enemy on this platform, which is this button right here. Skip ads, we all know it. As an advertiser, we have to avoid people clicking skip ads right away because we want them to watch our content because we cannot otherwise sell our product or services. So this is key. It's simple, but it's not always easy because you need to understand the psychology behind it. So if you understand that the number one enemy is this little button, we need to fight it. So let's watch a few ads that actually don't do well.
Let's take a very shitty drink called Coca-Cola and see what they are up to. Skip or watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip. I don't care what he just did there. It's boring, it's not engaging. I don't want to know about it. I just want to watch my video. It was slow, there was no action.
And this is what large corporations don't understand. They've tossed millions of dollars into productions of super fancy ads that don't convert. But as affiliates, as media buyers, we can do that in our home with low budgets and test them right away with low production costs and have much better results than these big companies. So what's the secret weapon to make these $1 million ads?
It's this thing right here. This unique thingy here gives you a very unprofessional touch to your ads, and that's why it's eye-catching. If you think about it, if you go on YouTube and you see an ad that looks like an ad, like a professional shot ad, like the Coca-Cola one, your brain is gonna be like, oh no, here we go. But if then we see an ad that actually catches our attention, and it's unprofessional, and there's a catchy phrase and something weird happening, then we're gonna pay attention.
So components of an ad. You have the hook, so the first 5 seconds of a video that you need to catch the user attention and drive them into your video sales letter. The video sales letter is nothing but a video that mentions the problems that you're gonna solve with the product or the service you're gonna sell. And then at the end of the ad, you always place a call to action to remind the users to buy the product, to sign up to your services. Campaign settings one-on-one. We want to keep it really simple. So these are the campaign settings we use to spend millions and millions of dollars a month. One campaign is enough, so don't start messing around with multiple campaigns. You can have different campaigns if you're running different countries, but let's say you run in the United States, just create one campaign and that's all. In that campaign, you create one ad group, and in that ad group, you add, let's say 4 ads. You want to have a few ads testing when you're running product tests. And then the other setting you need to take care of is the bidding. What bidding are you gonna start with? And I recommend starting with maximize conversions simply because it allows the machine to do its job, to find customers at whatever cost. The algorithm needs to learn, needs to understand what your ideal customers look like, and yeah, we're gonna check later what we do when we scale. Budgeting, big question. Everyone asks me, how much should I spend on YouTube? In my personal experience, YouTube is more expensive than Facebook. So if you wanna start with a lower budget and invest it smartly, probably YouTube is out of your league right now. But if you're already at a scaling point, or you still wanna try YouTube because you have enough budget, a good rule I like to give, set your daily budget to 5 or 10 times your marketing margin that was given to you. So for example, if your commission is $10, then you should be spending at least $50, if not $100 a day, because you want to gather up data quickly and you don't want to be spending $10 a day for a week because it's simply so slow. Remember, we didn't choose any targetings, so don't mess around with targetings because the algorithm knows much better than us which users are gonna convert and which others are not gonna convert. So let the machine do the job. Now the fun part. That's probably the reason why you clicked on the video, and that's exactly what allowed us to generate over $60 million in revenue just on YouTube. That's when we start scaling, when thousands of dollars become millions of dollars, and that's the fun part. That's how we could, for example, scale from $28,000 in one single day on May 9th to $110,000 in ad spend in one single day on May 10th. And the CPA only increased by $4. And that's amazing because on other platforms, in my personal experience, I could never scale so aggressively and not expect a drastic increase in CPA. But on YouTube, that's a different story. But before we get too excited about these numbers, as you can see on May 20th, we spent up to $226,000. And yeah, our CPA increased to $87. But again, we want to work with large margins so that we can afford these drastic increase of CPAs, or cost per purchase if you want, so that we can spend a lot more and generate a lot more revenue for our partners. But before spending these amounts of money, we have to take a look at the ad schedule. It's simply the schedule in which your campaign is gonna spend the daily budget you're gonna set. So when you're testing, you don't really wanna worry about which time to spend. You just wanna test all the hours in a day to see when people are more likely to buy your product. When you gather up enough data, you want to start squeezing these hours and focus your budget only in the hours that you're actually making money. And this makes a big difference when scaling a campaign, but you have to find out when your customers are buying. So here I put an example where we spent all our budgets from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. approximately, but don't copy this because you don't know where I'm running, you don't know in what time zone my ad account is, and even if you did, it doesn't mean that this is where you're gonna make the most money, because we optimize our campaigns while we test them and it's not always looking the same. Bidding when scaling. Before we saw how to bid during a campaign launch, but now we want to see how bidding changes when we start scaling and spending a lot of money. We switch from maximize conversions to target CPA. Target CPA is similar to cost cap on Facebook, if you're familiar with it, where you're essentially telling the platform is, I want to acquire customers at this specific number. And you can play around with it. You know, you have to find the sweet spot in bidding and find where you can spend the most money and make the most profit out of it. And another thing is, like, people worry that, you know, when you start spending a lot of money, you need to be at the computer the entire day and monitor what's going on. Wouldn't it be amazing to have one button that you just press and you sit back and enjoy and you don't have to worry about anything? Well, on YouTube that's possible, and it's called the limited by budget. So when you start spending money, after some time, if you're hitting your target CPA goals, Google will recommend you how much to spend per day. These numbers usually go up very quickly. So to give you an example, if you're spending $300 a day, the platform is likely gonna recommend you to spend $900 per day. You're gonna think like, well, from 300 to 900, it's a big increase. Something could go wrong. It's true. At the beginning, you should take care and monitor it a bit. But usually with Google, you can scale up so fast and it's such a stable way because Google recommends you to triplicate your budgets. And if it does, you should give it a try. From 3,000 you could go to 9,000. From 9,000 you would go to 27,000. From 27,000 you're gonna go to 81,000. And this happens, by the way, every day. So one day you spend 27, the day after it's gonna recommend you to spend 81. And from 81, you know, sky's the limit. We did try to spend $1 million a day because it was recommended, but we couldn't. The platform wouldn't just deliver, I don't know. But we did spend $300,000-$400,000 in a single day. And I'm just sitting here after a few years of experience saying exactly what I know about YouTube ads, and that's all I know. A little bonus before we wrap this up. If you're running YouTube ads, you need to be aware that brand awareness you're generating for the brand is TV level awareness. So every time we started scaling a brand, the searches on Google went up as well. So for example, in this graphic, you can see that the week that we were spending a lot of money is the same week when the searches on Google went up a lot. And what does this mean for you? This means you should be running search ads as well on Google, because you want to retarget all the users that are looking up for your brand. They go on Google and they see your brand as well. And the CPAs on search retargeting campaigns are insanely low, and that's how you can easily increase your profits by 20-30% if not more. So guys, this is it. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. You can follow my journey on Instagram at Micol, and see you in the next video. Peace!